Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Need for Speed Unbound to take a look at another of the brand new cars that's been added to this iteration of Need for Speed, which is this C8 Corvette Convertible. The reason I'm taking the convertible is just because I haven't unlocked the hardtop yet, but it's very near the top of a class, so I think it's also going to be quite a cost-effective way of getting a car in A+. So, well, let's see what options are available for it and how good it is in A+. Very quickly though, before I upgrade it, I'm going to see what it's like stock, even though... Stupid race is coming up again. Even though I'm basically only going to be equipping 2 parts, I think. Probably. So yeah, it's slightly a shame that we're stuck with a convertible, because, well, with the roof up, the coupe looks better. But I'm hoping when we get to the customization, we can set it to just have the roof down. And then it will be incredibly cool. But yeah, as you can see, it's not bad. I'm kind of debating whether I call this a supercar or a sports car. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, I guess. It looks very long and thin on this game. Kind of looks wider and lower and meaner in Forza. So I don't know why it's quite so long. One thing I always find is the mirrors look like they're back to front. When you look at them from this angle, they look like they point forwards, but because of the shape of them. Anyway. That's what it's like from standard. And with that, back to the garage. So this time I am going to do the performance first, just to make sure we can get it to the top of A+, before I run out of money. And, well, it kind of just makes sense that way round, and I am only applying a couple of bits. I will quickly look at the engine swaps here, but I'm not going to be putting in a V12, V6, inline 6, other V8, flat 6, or V8. Mostly because I can't afford them, but also because engine swaps are just overpriced, even if I did have that kind of money on here. So I think one part, basically, is going to get me to the top of A+. What I do want, though, is to make sure I can put a really good diff in to tune it towards handling. So I am going to splash 20 grand on that, even though it doesn't really affect the performance. Then I think, basically, we just want a little bit more power, right? 266 doesn't quite take us. I mean, an ECU basically does it. I think we can also get slightly better tyres, but an event has started, so I can't check. It's really badly designed that every time somebody invites you to an event, it covers up the upgrades. I was trying to see whether I could get away with... Right, so brakes is too much, but I might be able to put on some tyres. Leaving me 50 grand for visual stuff. I will just tune this. Ah, unfortunately that puts it to... Okay, but if we put downforce fully up, I won't put it... We just need to do that. Perfect. So, before I go and do some individual parts customization, because that's probably the way I'm going to do it, let's take a look at body kits. So, another race pops up. We have the standard one, the... Okay then, the Alchemist. I actually really like that wing. I just don't like this like carbon blade here, or the wheel arches. We have the carbon one, which is actually kind of incredible. And we have Speed Hunters, which is just odd. First though, let's take the roof down, because we've got the convertible, we may as well make use of it. And then see what else we want to go for. I think I'm essentially going to go for... Oh my god, that is horrendous. I was going to say I think I'm essentially going to go for the Alchemist kit, right? Do you know what? I know I don't usually do it, but I think... No, it's not the Alchemist kit, it's the Carbon kit. I think I'm just going to go for that. Then just see if there's anything I want to change. You can't do, like... I think I will change the mirrors, because I don't particularly like those. Oh, and... For some reason it's put the roof up again. There we go. And that, because I kind of want those vents there. Oh wow, I love how like when you change that, the back box changes. I love that they've had to do that now that there's no rear bumpers, but that is actually stunning. Oh, do they all have that? Okay. As soon as you get rid of the stock exhaust, they all have that, so it's just about which exhaust tips we want. Those are kind of incredible. Right. Will it let me type courgette on here? No. That's disappointing. Oh, that, well, I might have to wait till we see what colour we're going to do it. Apart from... Okay, right, no, we need to do ride stance, which has already been done, apparently. And find some wheels. Just to be a bit different, and to go with the wild kit we've got, I'm going to put these on. Oh, and rear. So I've put on some slicker tyres as well, but brakes and calipers and brake discs, there's no point changing, because, well, we're not going to see them behind those rims. I think it's time then for paint. It actually looks incredible with the purple exhausts as well, but I'm not sure. That's what I want to do. I kind of want to go for a dark sort of reddy pink. Slightly more towards red than pink. Let's try and make it a bit more red, sort of like that. Actually, if I go near, but then put it slightly pinker, will it go red? No. Yeah, I want it slightly more red than pink. I quite like that. I also tried to make all my cars something a bit different. And as you can see, I've got a bright green, dark green, purple, yellow, lime green. I've done a lot of colours already. And it's a mad car, so it needs a mad colour. Right, what else can we do? I feel like that's maybe a bit too much. Have we got a... pink and purple? Okay, no, this is way over the top now. I can't even afford that, can I? Okay, well, despite being slightly more careful with what I was buying and not, well, going for something that didn't need many upgrades, I've still completely cleared my balance out. But we've ended up with another mad car. Hopefully that will be okay in A+. So I do now have 2 A+ cars, the Evo and this. But yeah, I've got quite a mad selection of vehicles on here. If you remember this one from the last customization video. This is kind of as bright and wild as that, except pinker. Maybe it is a bit too pink. No, it's a raspberry red. Let's call it raspberry red. Like, from that angle, it looks red. Some angles, it's a little bit too pink, I think. Yeah, in one mind, I really like how mad it is, particularly with that colour. And in another mind, I think, no, that's not a very nice colour, it's too pink. Anyway, never mind, let's go and race it. You know what, actually, out here, it's redder than it was in the garage. I'm a little bit happier with the colour out here, I think. Not sure I've done the right thing with that front bumper, but I mostly liked this kit, so... Anyway. Well, I eventually managed to get into a speed list, but with one other person. This is one of the fundamental flaws of the online system on this game. Is you're in a session of 16 people who may not want to do the same race as you. You can't select to join one with people that want to do the same as you. You're put in a random session, and then you have to hope the people in that session are going to want to do the same class as you. Anyway, it feels kind of nice and stable, but yeah, this isn't going to be a very good test of it, whether it's actually very good or not. Only a test of whether it's better than a random Pagani. Ow. Why? Stupid BMW. What do you mean the wrong way? Oh, it's this race that's broken. No, it's not better than a random Pagani. Right, he's decided not to take part in this race. Yeah, he's still at the start line. It's quite an interesting test though, because this definitely isn't anywhere near as quick as that was. I mean, I'm not really familiar with which cars are and aren't good in Need for Speed, but it seems similar to most games that if you start with a car near the top of a class and upgrade it a little bit, it's never as good as if you start with a lower end car and upgrade it a lot. Which is a shame, because that would have been a nice, well, cheaper way to get cars if you buy one that's already nearly at the performance you want, rather than... because upgrades are a lot more expensive than cars in this game. All of it's too expensive, although that might just be because I don't really play it enough. But it's one of those games where I enjoy buying and customizing the cars, but don't enjoy the racing. Or don't enjoy the racing as much, if that makes sense. So I'm only doing the racing to earn the money for the cars. At which point it makes it not terribly enjoyable. Anyway, I might as well finish these 3 races, get some money back in. At least he's racing me again this time, but that might just further prove that this car's not very good. I mean, I don't really care, I'm just buying cars because I like them. Like I say, I prefer the buying, building, customizing to the actual racing on here, so I don't really mind if it's bad. It's only that it costs so much to get that... yeah. I like having cars that are just nice to drive that I like, but given how expensive they are in that game, in this game, it's not a good use of my credits, probably. But I do already have a car in every class, so it's not like I need it for racing. It's just the same old thing. The races and online are a bit repetitive, and you have to do so many of them to earn credits. I will save up a bit more before the next car I buy, just to make sure I have plenty to upgrade it to a class higher than it starts in, at least. So I think maybe an S this car would be okay. A+ just doesn't give you enough room to put enough parts on. Yeah, it's not very good. So as it was quite so terrible in A+, after a quick speed list and selling of a massive Doge Charger that I'm never going to use, I have 76,000, and the simple addition of a Elite single turbo puts it to the top of S, which may make it terrible. Why is it telling me I have new parts available? Anyway, which might make it terrible, but I think it's worth a try in a slightly higher class, because like I say, I think maybe a car that sort of starts near the top of a class and is upgraded to that class isn't as fast as something that starts in a lower class and is then upgraded. So let's see how it does in S-Class, assuming we can find some people who want to race that. Ow. So again, we only have one other person in the race, which is one of the unfortunate things on this game. That seems to happen quite a lot. Anyway, let's see if we do any better in S than A+. Because A+, we just lost to the only car in the race anyway. So we can beat a McLaren. I'm going to say it's at least better in this class. It's amazing that one edition of a turbocharger can jump it from the top of one class to another. The thing it seemed to really struggle with, strangely, being a big American car, is power. Oh no, why are we going off-road? So far so good. I didn't actually check. I hope the McLaren that I'm racing against is actually top of S-Class. Ah, that was interesting. I mean, we've beaten Darth Mando. Excellent gamer tag, by the way. The reason I question it is because visually that McLaren is exactly as you're gifted it as a prize vehicle. Which makes me think maybe they haven't upgraded the performance either. Although I say that, there he goes. Damn it. Why is there... Anyway, we're leading again. Need for Speed physics killed me a bit there. Never mind, back into the lead. Oh, sorry. Well, that was a bit closer, but I think we're going to win anyway. I'm not convinced that McLaren is top of the class, though. So, there we go. The Corvette C8 Convertible, everyone. Not great in A+, so I think the main lesson we've learned is that a lower class car upgraded with more parts is faster than a higher class car with only a couple of upgrades to get it to the top of the class, so I won't be making that mistake again. As for the Corvette, yeah, not great in A+, and S-Class, it did better than that, so I'm going to say it's better in S-Class than A+, but potentially that McLaren we raced against wasn't even upgraded to the top of the category. So I don't think it's particularly competitive in anything. I mean, I could one day maybe try it in a higher class if I get even more credits because everything's so expensive in here. But yeah, I don't think it's a competitive car, which is a shame because it's a really cool addition that did need to be finally added. And it's great to see that they have the convertible and the coupe. So yeah, that's... Partly, I went for the convertible because it's the only one I can afford, or the only one that's unlocked, I should say, but I think I would have done anyway because I've already driven the coupe in Forza, for example. So, yeah, it's cool, has some cool visual mods, but not going to be competitive, I don't think. But anyway, there we go. That is going to do it for a very first look and customization and upgrades of the C8 Corvette Convertible, which is one of the new vehicles here on Need for Speed Unbound. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.